Hey softballers, batter up. Softball 360 is next.
Coming up next on Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics. What does it take to get to Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins? Practice, practice, practice. Take in some batting practice with some of Minnesota's best softballers who are looking for ways to upgrade their game. And the world's greatest softball home run hitters are ready to take aim at Target Field for another round on the Stadium Power Tour. It's time to crown a national champion in softball, and we'll preview the USA Super National and hear from the experts as the road to a championship runs right through Ridgeland, Mississippi. Those stories and more next on Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics. And now, reporting from Target Field and the Minnesota Twins, here's your host, Dakota Vanderberg.
Welcome into Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics. I'm your host, Dakota Vanderberg. It's been a great summer of softball so far, so let's rewind and see how we got here.
You've heard the old story. What does it take to get to Target Field, home of the mighty two-time world champion Minnesota Twins? Practice, practice, practice. That's what it takes to slug it out with the Monster Militia Stadium Power Tour. For softball players, the ritual known as batting practice is one of the rights of the game. And if you spend the time properly, a great way to upgrade your game.
The game is very simple. Don't overthink it. Hit the gaps, work on the gaps also in BP. Just work on your swing. Stay back on the ball, drive it to the left center gap if they're shaded over. Or if they're shaded over the opposite way, work on your right center gap.
The night before the Power Tour event at Target Field, many of the big boppers on the Minnesota softball scene gathered for BP.
We do have a strong softball community here, and one of Monster's #1 markets in the country. I like the people. We're able to do a lot of charitable work here in Minnesota. We're able to help a lot of families out, and just the people in this game in this state really do a great job of supporting one another.
Softball is doing well, thank you very much, in the Gopher State. Numbers are way up, and Minnesota lays claim to several legacy softball tournaments.
Our girls' fast pitch numbers are really solid. All of our state tournament numbers, we're breaking records. Tournaments are full, people are having a good time. It's USA Softball. And
it was another huge year at Corky's Early Bird. Springtime in Minnesota, as the season kicks in and players shake off the winter rust. The third weekend in July is always time for the Firemen's in Minnesota, the local softballers to get ready for a charity softball under the Green Water Tower in Bloomington, Minnesota. Meanwhile, back at Evergreen Park, it was time for an old-fashioned home run derby. And on the line, a brand new still in the wrapper, Monster Athletics bat.
Monster Athletics Bomber Junior Tour champion, Mike Thorbrager.
Woo! Yeah, Iron Mike, Iron Mike!
But on this summer eve in Minnesota, the real winner was anyone who came out to play the sport of summer, softball. From batting practice to the place where it all matters, home plate at Target Field. When Softball 360 returns, we're headed to the bold north for an old-fashioned home run derby at the home of the Minnesota Twins. And later, who are the teams that stand in the way of a repeat national championship for Monster Athletics? We'll preview the USA Super and hear from the experts straight ahead. Softball 360, the nation's only softball television program going on 15 years, is powered by Monster Athletics with the proven game-changing FIB technology.
Welcome back to Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics. I'm your host, Dakota Vanderberg, and now it's time for a countdown to the USA Super.
An eagle's eye view of Ridgeland, Mississippi, the site of the USA Super. This is the proving grounds, the place where history will be made, lives will be changed, and one team walks away as the national champion of USA Softball.
We have two teams, but we play as one, and That's the big part. Our chemistry is what's going to drive us. Everyone plays for the next guy, and that's why we win, is we have the most fun.
This group of guys, it's more than a team over here. I mean, we're a family. We know what's going on with everything. We're not afraid to talk. I mean, it's a good group of guys on and off the field, and when you just have that chemistry and the vibe, I mean, you just feel like nobody can beat us.
DW at Softball Centers writes that 2018 USA Super will be an emotional game. Look for a lot of energy. Monster is the defending champion, but there are a number of super teams that want to replace them, and it will make for some compelling games. Hortonback Auto and Tees 13 have a shot at dethroning the champs. But keep in mind, Monster Athletics is a solid team, well coached, with some superstars. For the fans, it's going to make for some epic softball. One of the biggest roadblocks for Monster on the road to repeat is a team led by this man, Brett, the Hitman Helmer. These two teams met earlier in the summer in the now infamous Battle of the Titans at the 39th annual Corky's Early Bird. Early on, it was clear both teams came to play, and the SRO crowd was treated to some of the best softball on the planet.
You been smoking home. 15 feet dead to rights.
Killer defense, let's go!
But the Monster Bats kept on keeping on, and they sent the softballs soaring.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a run. You win by runs.
While there was some concern they may have hit too many homers early, the coach told them to swing away and don't stress over the home run rule.
Let's stay focused. Don't change your swing. You're going to make outs changing swings. If we hit solos, we hit solos. Let's worry about changing our swing when we have to.
On the mound, Brian McClanahan was hurling heat and keeping them honest all night long. Going into the final innings with a lead is where you want to be. But when you are playing a team led by the Hitman, you know they will not lie down.
Woo, good game, guys. Let's keep it going. Hey, give me some defense. Definitely the best defense in the country. This entire infield's playing for Team USA, futures and regular. It's the best defense out there.
As we land in the 7th inning and the final out, it was clear who was the better team today.
Yeah! Way to go, guys!
Woo! Clash of the Titans. Good game, guys. Good game.
When Softball 360 returns, time for an update from Monster Athletics' Little Big Man. What's the latest with 5-foot-something Gary Carrillo? And later, the world's greatest softball home run hitters are hitting a bullseye at Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins.
Monster Athletics is blessed with some great athletes and some great characters. Let's meet one of my faves. What's the height difference between you two?
Big. Big difference. I'm 5'3". I'm 6'8".
Standing in at 5 foot something, he is certainly not the biggest player on the field. But when Monster Athletics infielder Gary Carrillo plays the game, he seems to grow a few feet taller. Gary plays the game at only one speed, super fast.
You know, obviously I'm a little guy, so I got to use my speed to my advantage, and I've took a lot of notes from my buddy Chen Granardos, who's our 5-man on our super team, and you know, you just mirror that, and it just helps you make those plays, but I rely a lot on my quickness.
Push!
That's a damn laser! What's he diving for?
Gary Carrillo is Sonic the Hedgehog. He is a little electric ball of energy. He plays hard, he has fun, and he's the embodiment of what the West Coast Monster team is about, is being out there, having fun, and hanging loose.
Oh, Mike! Oh, that's nice throw.
His skills as a ball player are amazing. You see him, he's, you know, 5'2", and you go, you know, this guy's just a little slap hitter, probably just tries to beat balls out. No, he'll go gap to gap, and he will hit a home run if you need him to.
As a member of USA Softball's defending national championship squad, Gary knows all the other teams want a shot at bringing down the champs.
When you're the defending USA champions, there's a huge target on our chest, and everybody's out to get us, and it's a good thing. They're always going to play a lot harder because it's like David and Goliath. They want to take down the big dogs.
One, two, three, pick it!
The story of how Gary got this far in life is nothing short of a miracle. You see, Gary and his twin brother were adopted by a family of California ministers after being abandoned as babies.
Our birth parents weren't in the best state of mind. We were born premature. We were the size of your hand when we were born. We were not supposed to live. We were hooked on all the machines that you could think of. We were what they call miracle babies. There's nothing we could do or say to repay them for what they've done, because if it wasn't for our adopted parents and our family, we probably wouldn't be alive.
Go, come on, hurry.
Today, Gary takes being a father seriously, and his love for his daughter has no bounds.
This is her actual footprint that's on the glove. That's her actual footprint. Savannah Joy Carrillo, got her birthday right there. So every time I step on the field, I'm playing for her. You know, whether it's a big tournament, small tournament, I represent myself and my family, and I want people to know that.
On the field, Gary believes the best days lie ahead for his team, and he feels they are ready to repeat as champs of USA Softball.
You know what? The team that we have on this field, man, I don't see why we can't go undefeated the rest of the season. That includes another repeat championship in Worlds, taking another super title. The guys we have on that field are just amazing, and it's just an honor to be on the field with them. The intensity, the energy that they have, innings 1 through 7. I don't care if they're up 20 or down 20. The energy is always going to be positive, and it's always going to be high, and always being upbeat no matter what the situation, because, you know, just like in life or in a game, whether you're down 10 runs or 12 runs, you know, you have to stay positive because that can turn around in a second.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
When Softball 360 returns, it's Powered Tour time, and the world's greatest softball home run hitters take aim at Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins. Heads up in the outfield. Softball 360, the nation's only softball television program going on 15 years, is powered by Monster Athletics with the proven game-changing FIB technology.
Welcome back to Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics. The world's greatest softball home run hitters are taking aim at Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins.
Greatest hitters, I feel like, in the game of all time. So it's kind of an honor to be able to stand here and see his statue right here in front of me right now.
Dateline, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Target Field, home of the two-time world champion Minnesota Twins. The world's greatest softball home run hitters prepare for the show in the same locker room used by the country singer Luke Bryan, who performed the night before. Target Field opened in 2010, hosted the 2014 MLB All-Star Game, seats 39,504, and consistently receives solid reviews from fans and players alike.
So this ballpark, I would say, is top 5 just on how beautiful it looks, hitting-wise.
Here's the lineup card for the Slugfest today at Target Field. Big John Williams, Travis Housequake Houseman, Daniel D-Mac McClement, Philip Flip Washington.
Oh yeah, they say it's a hitter's park, so hopefully a couple balls get up out of there tonight for everybody, put on a good show. I'm gonna just try to scrape the wall a little bit.
We got the DNA mutated, the best fire stick that the Monster Bat has, in my opinion.
And here's the rules of engagement. Each slugger gets 15 swings. Each home run is worth 1 point, except the last pitch, known as the money ball. It's worth 2 points and could be the tiebreaker before the Minnesota Twins and Detroit Tigers game.
It's gonna fly.
Leading off, the big, really big, John Williams. At 6'5" and close to 300 pounds, Big John easily earns his nickname. Sure, he's massive, but the big man has the moves of a much smaller athlete with cat-like quickness. Big John calls Chicago home. He's quite comfy in the city of big shoulders. The man they call John Dre the Giant is much more than a brute force at the plate. When Big John is hot, he's hot and has a smooth, effortless swing worth looking at in slow-mo. Nice form and textbook on how to do it. Slam, bango, off the video wall and left. Jam shot into the upper deck. But on the money ball, just a tad shy. And Big John ends his shift with 6 points. Stepping in and swinging for the fences is Travis Housequake Houseman. Travis hails from the small town of Winterset, Iowa, the home of actor John the Duke Wayne. And sure, the Duke was tough, but House is one of the toughest hitters in the game today. He's known for hard training in the gym and keeping an intense workout schedule. Growing up on an Iowa farm, Houseman is still a rugged country boy at heart. No stranger to hard work, Houseman once loaded an entire hay wagon in less than 10 minutes. A couple of upper deck show bombs shows the rookie has promise. House slams the money ball and takes the lead with 7. Daniel McClement steps up. D-Mac has the technique, the bat, and the power. Young softballers take note of his swing. That is textbook. How to do it, folks. D-Mac starts off slow, floating one past T.C. Bear, but then finds his groove, and one after another are leaving his Monster Athletics bat. D-Mac is from Scotland and is 2 points behind House, so the money ball, it matters. And you can count on it. Bank 2 points for the Flying Scotsman, and we have a tie. Hoop man, as they say back home. The last man standing is Philip Flip Washington. Flip loves the competitive nature of the sport, and the desire to be the best burns bright. After a slow start, Flip flips the switch, and he's a man on fire. One after another are leaving his Monster Athletics back. Soon, we have a 3-way tie for first, and talk about drama. Flip dug in at home plate with no takes left, and the money ball coming in hard from pitcher Gary Jost. Kaboom! Flip's upper deck show bomb broke open a log jam at Target Field for the win.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it like that. It's always better when it's tied up like that, man. I looked up at the scoreboard, I seen it. Like either you go hard or you go home, simple as that.
Monster Militia Power Tour. Final results, Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins. Number 1, Philip Flip Washington, 9 points. Number 2, Daniel D-Mac McClement, 7 points. Number 3, Travis Housequake Houseman, 7 points. Number 4, Big John Williams, 6 points.
What a show at Target Field. Once again, Flip Washington takes it home. But that's all the time we have left for today. Be sure to send me a story idea on social media. And like I always say, get out to the park and play.
Please join us next week on Softball 360 as we continue to drive on the road to Ridgeland, Mississippi and the USA Super. We're getting ready to crown a national champion for USA Softball. And later, time to rewind, recap, and review the Monster Militia Power Tour. What worked, who was hot, and who was not. And what can we expect for next season for the world's greatest softball home run hitters? Please join us next week on Softball 360, powered by Monster Athletics.